In here.
Okay, we're gonna have her move. Because then she been calling people, telling them to turn off the AC. Have you been calling people, telling them to turn off the
It
AC?
doesn't bother me so much, but my dad actually has outside.
No, just press go. Oh.
Good job.
All right, everyone, welcome to the 187th District Court. Today is Brenda Thursday.
Yes.
All right, so please do not turn this into a difficult Monday. Let's keep it as a happy Thursday. It's almost Friday. So these are the rules of the court. I'm trying to keep the court as least congested as possible. So to attorneys, when you want to approach the court, just let the clerk know what the file is. The clerk will place the file here, then please take a seat, and I'm going to call you in order of appearance. Rest assured, no one is allowed to skip in line. So the order in which I receive it is the order in which we'll go. If you have an inmate, please let the deputies know and they will bring your inmate out for you. They're working on getting them all out now. So please do not approach and say you're ready if your client is not here. Everyone, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, let me know you're here. If you do not let me know you're here, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson. Jacob Minchow.
President Bernie did text me. I expect he'll be here in the next 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. And could people make sure that that front row is clear? Thank you, Nathaniel Navy.
No problem.
Unless you were late. Were you late?
I was not.
Yeah. Gloria Mendoza. Thank you. April Terrell.
Judge, she's in Guadalupe County custody. I don't know if a Zoom was set up or not. I emailed Norman yesterday.
All right, we'll find out. Thank you. Chris Gonzalez. Thank you. Israel Elizondo. Thank you. Victor Rivas. Victor Rivas. Roderick Wilson. Thank you. And if there is a Lorenzo Humphreys, your case is closed. John Arredondo. John Arredondo. Patrick McKnight.
Here.
Thank you. Thank you. Victoria Mesquias. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Mhm.
Oh, look at me learning how to pronounce some names. Victoria Mesquias. Paul David. Thank you. Robert Reyna. Robert Reyna. Thank you. Dimitri Gomez. Ernisa Britt. Ernisa Britt. Isaiah Varju.
He's ready to counsel.
Yes. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
It's Varju.
Varju. Okay, thank you. Michael Herrera.
He doesn't counsel.
Thank you. Mary Diaz. Thank you. Caroline Cantu. All right, for the people who have clients that are in custody, the persons who are in custody, their name will not be called. Is there anyone who's present whose name was not called?
Judge Robert Trevino.
And do you have his case number?
Yes, Judge. 2022 CR 3708.
All right, thank you. Anyone else whose name was not called? Yes, sir. All right, thank you. Anyone else? All right, and attorneys, when you want to approach the prosecutors again, so it's not so congested, if you'll just hand them your file, they will put it in the order in which you appear. So everyone, please confer, and let's have a happy Thursday. Caroline, do you have the file for Robert Trevino and see on the docket?
No, not, it's separate today. I'm gonna grab it. You have.
Yes, I have that. Because we were just waiting.
Yeah, I think.
There was a strike in Florence, and when they strike, I don't know if this is how they usually do it,
Right.
but they only do it for 2 hours and they pick specific times to strike. So if I would have taken a later flight, instead of getting at the airport at 4 a.m. for my 6 a.m. flight, it wouldn't have been canceled. So you just walk up to the counter like, your flight's been canceled.
How long?
2 days. They're like, we'll see you in 2 days.
Could have been worse. At least it wasn't like a Houston or anything. You know what I mean, I'll take that.
Yes,
Can I give you these distances?
yes. I am actually signing some right now.
So I just don't see how it can.
How far is the drive to Nashville?
Okay.
How far is the drive to Nashville?
Two over 1,000.
You said you can find a flight?
It's 14 hours. We'll get there in 12 hours.
And you can't find a flight? You said?
They're unreliable. Airplanes are so long.
Brittany,
Yes, sir.
hi, here are the dismissals. Hello.
April Terrell, we're setting her up for a Zoom out of Guadalupe County for next Thursday for contested MTR.
Okay. You need to stand behind the line.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. COVID is real, I always tell people. All right, who are the prosecutors on April Terrell? It is,
It's an MTR. on a-
yes, it's family
Okay,
violence.
yeah, let me look at that, Judge. Judge, we were just gonna let you know on this case, we provided a redacted copy of the body cam to defense. We're in agreement. I think they just want to know if they could be excused at 1:30.
Oh, yes. I just wanted you all here, if there's something else that I need to view, because I don't want us to stop in front of the jury because there are objections for some video, audio, because then we have to take a break so I can hear it.
There's nothing else that I anticipate. I mean, the way the case goes, there could be stuff that possibly comes in, but not right now, not as I foresee it.
Okay, all right, yes, see you all back at 1:30.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can delete mine there. I smashed
Okay. Caroline, on this one, can you let Norma know that it says that attorneys here will need a Spanish?
So we're all on the-
Sure.
Bless you.
Thank you.
She is. Hold on, let me look at the NPR.
Oh, and this will be called back. Hello.
Hi, Ms. Cantu is here for a compliance hearing. I sent you her court summary in addition to the SR, so you can kind of see what's going on there.
Okay, great, awesome, thank you. Yes.
Oh.
All right, Caroline Cantu. And Norma, can you pull the file for Caroline Cantu, please? Thank you. All right. Good morning, Ms. Cantu. All right, somebody needs you to speak up, all right?
Okay.
So I've received a report from probation, and we're having this compliance hearing so that you'll know what you need to do, because maybe there's some confusion. And I always like to have confusion cleared up, because probation is a contract with the court, right? It's, you're signing a document telling the court that you agree to do certain things. And if you don't do the things that you've promised to the court and that you've signed up saying that you will do, that means that you're violating or breaking our contract. And when you break the contract, what ends up happening is a motion to revoke this file. And let me just tell you what happens when a motion to revoke is filed. It's presented to me, and if on the face of it, it appears to be in order. And by me, what I mean by appear to be in order is they have the violations or what they're saying you did to break your contract with the court. And if it appears to be in order, what I do is I sign it. And once I sign it, a warrant is issued for your arrest. And wherever you may be at your home, you may be in the middle of preparing dinner, or in the morning preparing breakfast, or you may be at your job, or taking someone to the grocery store. If the police see you and there's a warrant that's been issued, they're going to arrest you wherever you may be. You understand?
Yes.
And then what will end up happening is you will be taken into custody. You will go to the Bexar County Jail. If you bond out, you bond out. If you don't bond out, you're going to be sitting at the Bexar County Jail waiting for your case to be heard, which we have those cases heard in this court fairly quickly. And if you're not bonded out, you're going to be brought over into custody, sitting in a blue uniform, having me make a decision on whether or not to revoke you and send you to prison. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you have been violating the terms of your contract with the court. And this is the last time that I'm going to have a conversation with you about your violations. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The first problem is you're using marijuana. Here's the thing about that. People know what marijuana is. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, I'm just doing CBD gummies or whatever. You already know you're not supposed to be doing that. So the question for you is whether or not marijuana and CBD gummies or whatever you want to take is worth going to prison or worth going to the Bexar County Jail. Those are decisions you're going to have to make. And if you choose yes, that it's worth that, then again, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. I know that people feel as though marijuana is not a big deal. Who am I to decide on that? But what I do know is it's against your contract with me if you're using marijuana in any shape, form, or fashion. Do you understand? Now, when's the last time you used marijuana?
April? Oh, May.
All right, because here's the thing, you're gonna get tested today. So you might as well be honest with me. We're not on the record. You don't have an attorney here because this is just me getting your attention. This is a compliance hearing. So when's the last time you used marijuana?
In May,
All right. What time in May?
the beginning of May,
All right. Why are you using marijuana when you're on probation and you know you can be revoked?
I try to, for my anxiety,
All right. Did you tell the probation that you have issues with anxiety?
I did.
All right. Does she need an evaluation? What is your anxiety from? And she's gonna go check to see if you told probation that because they put everything in the system.
In my tap evaluation,
Mhm.
yes, I informed them, so I went to my doctors, so they prescribed me some, what is it, antidepressants?
So are you taking those?
Yes.
All right. Did you inform probation who your doctor is?
Yes, well, I informed them of my situation, yes,
But not who your doctor is.
not who it's.
So here's the thing, when you're on probation, and I know people want to keep things personal, but if you keep things personal, that means that they don't know and I don't know. And so I'm just assuming that you're willy-nilly violating probation, and that's not allowed in this court. You understand?
Yes.
All right, so you are going to get drug tested today. The other issue we have is you're not blowing the number of times they want you to blow.
Right, I've been having trouble with the vehicle. So we're supposed to be taking it off this month, if not,
What do you mean taking what off this month?
the, intoxicant,
Why?
the contract's up for the 9 months, half of the probation.
No, that's not gonna be taken off because you haven't done what you need to do in order to have it taken off. So the intoxilizer doesn't come off until I say it does.
Okay.
Now, if you were following the rules, then it would be off in half the time, but you have not been following my rules.
I also explained to them that the vehicle is not under my name, so the owner is trying to sell it, so I would have to have a home breathalyzer installed.
But here's the thing, you have access to that vehicle, and that's a problem. Whose vehicle is it? What is their relationship to you?
My mother.
Yeah, so why are you speaking as though your mother is like some stranger? The person who owns the vehicle is trying to sell it.
Well, I was just saying. she's-
Yeah. That stays on because you have access to it. Any vehicle that you have access to, the ignition interlock will remain on that. Do you understand?
Yes.
And you had better start blowing more in that. And I'm increasing the levels that you have to blow in that. Again, I don't think people understand, but there are consequences for your actions. You understand?
Yes.
And when is the last time you said you used marijuana?
In May.
Then why do you have a positive test in June?
Well, my levels have been decreasing.
All right, so I want her UA today. And what we're gonna do with her is we're gonna increase the number of times she blows. If you miss any of those windows that you're supposed to blow, a warrant's gonna be issued. You understand? If your levels for marijuana go up, a warrant is gonna be issued. Do you understand?
And
And I've already explained to you the process when a warrant is issued. Do you understand?
yes,
All right. And are you still a receptionist? Because I don't allow people to work for a home healthcare provider as a home healthcare provider. Are you just a receptionist or do you see patients?
no, I'm just a receptionist.
Okay. Probation, is there anything else?
Your Honor, the tab indicates possibly intensive outpatient treatment is needed.
All right, let's do that. All right, is there anything else that you need from the court so that you can be successful? Are you certain? Now's the time if you need help for something to ask.
No.
All right, because I'm gonna write on this document sheet that I have a conversation with you and you inform the court that you needed no more help. Nothing else?
No, ma'am.
All right, probation is gonna go over conditions with you. Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Your Honor, do you want the way that she's gonna provide today to give you the level, or do you just want to know if she's positive?
I want to know if she's positive, but thereafter test for levels. Because if she's negative, then there should not be any more positives.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And I'm sorry, probation? She's supposed to give you the name of the doctor she's seeing for her medications.
All data? Robert Rena? Jacob Mitchell?
Okay, well, this one, sorry. All right, and have we discussed April? April Terrell?
Judge, I conferred with the defense counsel.
Mhm.
I'm not sure where he went. Said he thinks she's in custody, or he,
No, she's in Guadalupe County,
Yeah.
but they're setting up
a Zoom on Thursday.
on
Okay,
for
yeah,
Thursday.
I think we're gonna be able to work something out.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yeah. All right, who's here on Patrick McKnight? All right, and where's Mr. McKnight? Come forward. All right, the last thing I have is the PTU was submitted.
Yes. it
So
was.
where are we in the process?
They have not contacted him yet. We called them. It was submitted. We signed it and sent it on Sunday, so they probably got it on Monday, Judge.
All right, what date?
September 1st.
All right, just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson. We'll be back on September 1st.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Next one is mine also, Judge.
All right, just give me a moment. Let me find Patrick McKnight. There we go. Thank you. All right, Paul David. All right, what is happening with this case?
Judge, I've conferred, and we're still trying to get good restitution numbers and confirmation on the amount of damage. I know that the prosecutor has reached out numerous times to the complainant, but we're waiting on that.
All right, state.
Yes, Judge, I've called several times. It looks like she finally called back on the 19th and is going to get us some kind of proof. So but that's the first contact we've had, so that's good.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm going to call her again today just to see if she has that amount. Hopefully we'll be able to work it out here soon.
All right, so how much time are you asking for?
Just 2 weeks, Judge.
All right, could I have a 2-week reset on Mr. David?
Judge, can I request 3 weeks only because the next 2 weeks of my calendar is really packed.
All right.
Come back on August 11th.
Yeah, that should be okay.
All right, we'll see you August 11th.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
So I'm gonna go get Wi-Fi from the office, because it's too big for the disk and everything, and I'm gonna be right back. So Judge calls. I'm here, I'm just walking over to the building back to get a flash drive.
Thank you.
All right, Robert Trevino. All right, who's the state on this? All right, so the last thing we hear, there was a discovery issue. Where are we on discovery?
And Judge, I've received everything as far as this instant offense. What I've just requested from the state is, I believe that there's instances in the past where my client has called the police on the complaining witness. And so I'm just asking if we could get one final discovery setting to see if those exist, and if they do, if I could get copies of those.
All right, state, how long will it take you to have that information, or who has the information?
Judge, it would be through SAPD and it would take a week to get it.
A week? All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this case in 3 weeks? So I'm giving you all 3 weeks instead of 1 week.
Okay.
And I'm putting on my docketing sheet that Marcus said it would be a week. So,
I can do August 15th.
all right, August 15th. All right. Is that a phone ringing, or is that a buzz saying that we have an emergency? Okay. I was like, do we need to vacate? Brenda, do you see Trevino on the document? What page? Hold on. Ah, okay. That is it. Okay, so when will you order them? Okay. All right, but they need to be here like exactly at 9, like all parties. Okay.
I told her that we're gonna be just to make sure that she's not-
Okay, yes. Is the attorney able, and they've already given here this money? Is it possible to do it by Zoom? Yes. But otherwise, I'm fine with for the next day. Oh, hello, hi.
How are you?
Great. All right, and where's the attorney for product?
Matt is here, Matt Alice here for the full counsel with the lot.
Okay. All right, thank you so much for coming. If we could have Mr. Parada up, please. And Brenna, this doesn't have to be on the record.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if we were doing that.
Number one, is this gonna be reset for trial? You know what, Brenna, yeah, let's go ahead and put this on record. And it's Jose Parada, it's not on the docket. It's 2021 CR 7575.
Can you just spell the last name?
Parada.
Okay. I think the switch, right? Maybe that's what it is.
Can you give me a call number?
Yes.
So Ms. Cantu's UA came out positive for THC. I did take a quick look at the reports that are in the system for the levels, and it does look like they're going lower, but it's obviously still in our system. So I'll just let the officer know to continue with monitoring the levels as you stated. Or do you want them like every week, or do you want them?
We can do it every 2 weeks. Yes. All right, thank you. All right, could I have someone from the state, please? Court is calling 2021 CR 7575, State of Texas versus Jose Parada. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
And Matthew Allen for Mr. Parada.
And are you Mr. Parada?
Sí. Yes, I am.
We have an interpreter here. If you could raise your hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English to help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
And if you could state your name for the record.
Cesar Chavez, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Parada, I have listed that your attorney is Guillermo Alara. Do you have any objection to Mr. Allen standing in?
Sí. ¿Tiene objeción?
Sí.
¿Le molesta que esté?
No.
No.
All right, thank you for clearing that up. And Matthew, you were just like stunned, like, what? There's no objection.
Guess I'm done.
Yeah. So what is your relationship to the case, Mr. Allen?
I believe I'm actually listed on the case as well, Your Honor, and I'm very familiar with it. Today, we're just continuing to assert our right to a speedy trial.
All right. And so for the record, the court will note that the court is currently in jury trial on, excuse me, could I have a? For the record, the court is currently in a jury trial, State of Texas versus Nathaniel Tristan, cause number 2019 CR 8838. The case of Nathaniel Tristan is an older case than the case of Mr. Parada. The cause number for Mr. Parada, as we all know, is a 2021 CR 7575. And Mr. Parada, are you still requesting a jury trial?
Yes.
Your plea deadline date has expired. What that means is that the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case, except pleas that are open to the court. Do you understand?
No, I don't.
All right. So, State, have you tendered an offer to the defense?
Yes, Judge.
Right. Mr. Parada, have you received the offer that was tendered from the state? And just one second, if he is telling me what the offer is, I'm not allowed to hear that, and I don't want to hear that. So if that's what being said, please don't interpret it for me.
He said, I always rejected the offer.
All right, thank you. All right, so the court is not going to accept any other offer. Do you understand?
Yes.
Without good cause.
Yes.
So from here on out, if you decide to enter a plea, it would have to be one where it's open to the court.
What do you mean plead openly to the court?
All right, defense, would you like to speak with him about that?
If I could just explain.
Yes.
Mr. Parada, you want a trial in this case, right? Okay.
Yes.
At this point, if you wanted to take a plea, we would need permission from the judge. Do you understand?
Yes.
And so you wish to continue with your request for a jury trial?
Yes.
All right. Then, defense, my understanding is that you've received all the discovery in this case. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. The court will need an acknowledgement of discovery before anyone leaves today. And Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial date for Mr. Parada, please? All right, your jury trial date will be September 13th. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, is there anything else from either of the parties?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
All right, Doxy. Oh, I guess I shouldn't say that. Thank you very much. I just came from Spain. That's all I know.
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. Bye-bye. Oh, that is Italian, right? I'm so, let me just tell you, I got so confused because we went to 3 countries. So in some places I was speaking French, I'm like, and then in some places I'm like, arrivederci. And they're like, so yeah, I need to take you with me.
Judge, is Mr. Parada free to leave? I'll wait for the
They need to
discovery.
get the
Okay,
reset form, yes. And no, I don't think this was on the recall docket. Yeah. Oh, no problem. And Michael Villarreal, you see the interpreter was nice. He didn't tell me that was Italian. He was just like, oh yeah. I appreciate that. You know, everybody was saying Prego to me and I was like, no sauce for me.
Judge Evans, discovered knowledge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, good morning. Member.
Yes.
I just want to give the court an update on Ambres. He said technically they were contested MTR. We have an agreement. We're going to
All right, thank you. Yes.
So one of the conditions of this came to, and she said that what she was trying to explain as far as the vehicle is concerned, is that the vehicle does not hold a battery. So in order for her to submit into the device, she has to jump it every time she uses something. So
Let's provide
that
some documentation of that. Yes.
and okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure you knew.
Sure, unless someone from probation wants to go out there and see if that's
You
true.
can do a field visit.
Okay, all right, thank you. Could you have them fill in the file for me, please?
I understand Ms. Mendoza has checked in already. Lawyer Mendoza.
Yes.
She was calling my office. She said, "Come in." Good. Up front, my wife was COVID positive, is symptomatic. I taken the test this morning, I'm negative. So I'm still gonna keep the mask on. Good to have you back.
Oh, thank you. How's the magnolia tree doing?
I had a guy out there yesterday. He decided he's gonna do a trunk infusion of iron, because it's still kind of wimpy. He said it's just a combination of the drought and these two freezes in a row. And it's just, it's hard.
Oh.
I asked him, about other magnolias in the area. He says, yeah, they're all suffering the same way. And I said, this is a pretty big magnolia. He says, the only place he's seen bigger magnolias He's seen 2 of them in Houston that were bigger than ours,
Oh, wow.
but he hasn't seen any in San Antonio the size of ours.
I'm gonna pray, because that magnolia must survive. And it
Oh,
must do
yeah,
well.
he says it's gonna survive, but it may be next year or the year after before it really perks up again.
Okay,
I don't think next year is gonna be any different than this year, but
yeah.
then I'm a pessimist.
Wow. It's gonna be beautiful next year.
I'm sure it will be.
Okay. And I hope your wife is doing better.
She is doing better, but she barely left the couch in the TV room. She took over that room and just isolated herself. Like I told her, she's symptomatic, but barely now. She's really coming on the other end of it. I've tested, I'm negative this morning, so, but I'm gonna keep the mask on just to be socially responsible.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Anyhow, let me go see what I can do with Miss Mendoza.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
For me? Oh, all right. Love this. This is what I've been hoping for. And then there's 2,000 more pages in it.
Yeah.
A photo of it. From the work cut off. Yeah.
I think she went to the.
They're in my desk. Lupe's not back there? Nobody's not. Oh.
All right, if I can see you back. All right, everyone, just give me a moment. I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna get this. That's right. Yeah. That's why we're back. Yeah.
All right. It's just, everyone, please be seated. All right, who's here on Joseph Ramirez? Yes, and where is Mr. Ramirez?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. So what's up?
He was remanded without bond, Judge, while you were out because he was late to court. I actually filed motions to set bond, but it occurred to me since I'm on the bond, I just asked me to reinstate. It's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Try to work out his cases. Brittany and I have conferred many times on it. We're just not there yet.
Well, why was he late?
Can I take the whole?
Sure.
Situation.
And we're gonna put this on the record. Can I have someone from the state?
Yes, sir.
I was like, due to,
Just a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Court is calling State of Texas versus Joseph Ramirez and cause numbers 2021 CR 8064B, 2021 CR 8065B, 2021 CR 8072, 2021 CR 8076B, 2021 CR 8077B, and 2021 CR 8084B. Should I have parties announced for the record?
Marcus Sanders for the state.
Raymond Martinez for the defendant.
And are you Joseph Ramirez?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, state defense counsel is here. Was a motion filed or no?
Yes.
Caroline, did you see what that motion is on Ramirez?
Yeah, I got it.
The defense counsel has filed a motion to have the bond rate,
Bond set or reinstated.
bond set or reinstated. State, are you aware of the motion?
No, Judge. I'm not sure.
Brittany,
Grace spoke.
yeah, Brittany and I have heard that.
All right. So my understanding is that the defendant was remanded without bond by Judge Angelini because he didn't appear on time.
That's fine.
So why wasn't your client here on time?
I have to tell you, Judge, 'cause I'm not sure.
All right, can you raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state it for the record.
Yes, the reason I was late is,
Were you late?
yes, ma'am,
All right. And why were you late?
due to not having a vehicle, at the time, we were in a process of, we had gotten evicted, so we're moving it to another home. Our vehicle broke, so I tried to get here as best as I could, so I walked over here. And I showed up a couple of hours late, but I did call and say that I was gonna be late. And I showed up, just being late, sorry.
Okay, see, I don't know if he called or not, so we're gonna find out if he called.
I called my
Well,
attorney,
Judge, what I can tell you is he did appear mid-morning
yes,
before lunch. He was here all until the lunch hour. The judge recalled us at 1:30. He came back at 1:30. We stayed here till 2:30 or 3, got to the end of the docket, did not have a resolution of the case. Judge Angelini at that point recognized that he came in late and he remanded him. So we were literally here almost all day.
yeah.
I was here all day. He got here late.
Hello.
But because
2 hours late?
I don't know, I don't want to say exactly, just when he wasn't here right at 9, I went to do other things and I came back later in the morning and he was here.
2 hours late?
And matter of fact, I'm sorry, last thing, he did check in with the bailiffs when he got here, so the bailiffs did verify for the judge that he was in fact here sometime mid-morning.
2 hours late?
Pretty much, man, it was close to that, I think, about,
What time was it?
I said about 11:30 maybe.
And who did you say you called to say that you were going to be late?
The office, I called the office early in the morning.
Which office?
My attorney's office. And then as soon as I got here, I checked on the bailiff and they said that to wait outside.
Judge,
So,
we were certainly in contact with him all morning and or his family because we're on his bond, so we're anxious to know that he's here in court as well. So
yes,
So did he contact your office?
he called me to say he was coming late, Judge, and he eventually got here.
Like when? Because I'm just trying to get in my mind the process.
like I said, like about 11:15, sort of.
No, when did you call the office?
About 8 o'clock, 8:45 around there, just to let them know that I was gonna be running late. I didn't know how long I was gonna be, because I was looking for a ride, but I just ended up walking over here
Walking from where?
from off of where I was staying at,
Walking from where?
off of Steve's Avenue, all the way over here.
And what avenue? I'm sorry?
It's gonna be Steve's.
That's south of town, Judge, towards Breckenridge High School. You know what that is. My office is in that area, so I know it's his walk, but it's a good 4 miles.
All right, so did Angelini remand him without bond or did he revoke his bond?
I think you remanded him, Judge. Which is why my first office found a motion to set one, because he didn't have one set. If he'd increased it, then he'd have one.
So he's just remanded without bond.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, what's the earliest we can get Mr. Joseph Ramirez to trial? State, how long do you anticipate this trial taking?
Judge, I'm not too
Judge,
familiar with the case.
It's probably a 2 to 3 day trial.
Of course, it depends which one we're gonna, I don't know which one we're gonna try, Judge.
All right, if you guys can confer over which case you're gonna try, and then we're gonna give you a quick trial date.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thank you.
So what is the court?
We're gonna find out how quick this trial is gonna be. If you have a seat, please. Okay.
Hello, I am here on Gloria Mendoza. She has a motion to enter adjudication of guilt.
Yes.
She asked me to request a contested hearing. And she asks that she go to tracking only on the GPS monitor that she has.
All right, can I see the file on Gloria Mendoza, please?
I didn't read the sign.
That's okay. Yeah, we're overloaded with signs and sometimes people, you know, we always put a sign outside the door and it's a big sign colored and it says trial in session, do not enter, and people still, you know, so.
When I first retired from the Army, I took a speech class at SAC. And I got an A- on my first presentation. And the instructor said it was a great presentation. I was looking for something to say that you're going to improve, that I'm going to teach you something. And she said, so she docked me because I used black and white signs instead and pictures instead of color.
People love their Technicolor.
They do that.
All right, where's Gloria Mendoza? Come up. All right, who's the state you're conferring with?
I have talked to the probation department that gave me this. I have not conferred with anyone.
Oh, okay, if you confer with the state, because I think we can give you your hearing today. Because I'm looking at the allegations in the motion, it's not reporting, no employment, and not drug testing. So we can do your contested today, Ms. Mendoza. Okay,
Very well, Your Honor.
all right, thank you.
I'm going to go across the hall for a few minutes.
Sure. Mr. Porter? If you will. Come around. So, John Robertson. That's a huge. So his client is Villegas. If you'll talk to Ms. Ferguson and just tell her I said the function on Villegas.
And then, Mr. Jones on your docket. It's a David Lumen case. Stacey Harrington and I already conferred on it. He's picked up 3 new cases. They're not willing to make an offer until they have cases. First degree drug case.
Okay, all right.
So I'm going to talk to him. We just got the lab back on those drug cases, so they're not prepared to make an offer until they look at those cases.
Okay.
So,
Right.
whatever that means.
And Norma will bring, we'll give you the case and everything.
Okay. So it's Mr. V.
Oh, Miss Villegas.
Miss.
And the attorney is, my pronunciation is that, I want to say it's Villegas. Deputy Laura, you see Norma's stack of writings. I think it's Jessica Villegas. Oh, here's Norma. Norma, can you put on that case, Villegas?
I don't know which.
Let me grab it just a second.
Are we gonna email about all these cases?
No.
Yeah.
I think, yes, I'm Villegas. No, I come in,
On
the,
yes, the order to, yeah, it's. Yeah, let me just get this right.
Okay, thanks.
I'll get it to you.
All right, thank you. All right, who's here? Israel Elizondo? Yes, where's Israel Elizondo? Hello.
How are you, Judge?
Oh, I'm doing great.
We got all this today.
Okay, all right,
So-
just give me 1 second.
Yes.
Let me find what page he is on.
Did you enjoy Europe, Judge?
Oh, yes.
I'm going on Richard's doing a little bit of what Richard did. I was like commenting, I was like, Richard, thank you for posting all this. You're giving me some great ideas.
Yes. Okay, my mom's is always saying, Richard, please do not run with the bulls, but he did it.
Oh, I know. When I saw him doing that, I was like, Richard, we are all praying for you right now,
Yes.
but like, there's some young guns doing that.
Yeah.
Richard, like, you're
Yes.
in shape, but there's like 19-year-olds doing that. Like, I mean,
Oh, I
my
was just
knees
like,
can't do, I mean, my knees, I wouldn't do that if my life depended on it.
No, I would
But,
not.
but
I would say
I faint at the sight of blood, so I would, that would not be one of the things that Richard has inspired me to do in Spain this summer, but nobody travels like Richard.
Oh, no, Richard is great. All right, so, there's supposed to be CPS records turned over. Have those been turned over?
Today, I
All right.
think so.
Well, I will tell you this about CPS records. A lot of times, even though you have that big stack, sometimes it's duplicates.
Yes, and then I've got another 2,000 pages of this, of some other records, so we look forward to doing our homework before I take my Euro trip, absolutely.
And when are you taking your trip?
In like a month, August, like the end of August till September 11th.
Okay.
So, I'm looking forward to getting through all this.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, Ms. Burns, can I have a 30-day reset for Israel Elizondo, please?
That'd be great.
Okay. And who were you conferring with from the state?
Michelle Hayden, Judge.
All right, Ms. Hayden. Michelle Hayden. Yes, on Elizondo, so has now all of the discovery been turned over?
Yes, Your Honor.
I think so, yes.
Okay, all right, thanks. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing else outstanding.
I don't, to the best of my knowledge, no.
To the best of my knowledge.
Right. Now, if I look through here and I discover, oh boy, then, I mean, yeah, but I think this is it, Judge. And also,
Yeah, we did turn over, 2,000 pages CPS records.
Okay, are you gonna be here August 25th?
yes.
Okay,
Wait, 25?
yes, August
No,
25th.
no, no, the 23rd?
All right, can we do it sooner? She's
A little sooner?
traveling. Unless they stop people from traveling.
Want that one?
I know. Or we could do September 15th.
Sorry.
The 23rd is
Okay.
perfect, that's fine.
Okay, so Mr. Elizondo, I'm gonna just extend your plea deadline date to August 23rd. And of course, if there's new discovery, then the plea deadline date will be extended.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you guys are excused.
Got London in December, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
looking at all the news on Heathrow right now.
Well, did you see, I saw on some, because there's like this major heat wave and there are fires everywhere. Did you see these people sitting on this train? And there was fires outside the window. They're like, what are we doing?
That's,
Oh, it was super hot.
I wanna do Spain next year if I can, really just,
Are you gonna run with the Bulls? Richard said he's gonna run with the Bulls every year now.
oh, he did do it?
Yes,
Did Teresa do it too?
no, but her son did. But Richard informed me, like, he said, I woke up early, so I couldn't run with the Bulls on that day. So he's like, I'm doing it tomorrow. Like, maybe that's a sign.
He's nuts, always has been.
No.
I think we have to-
And we wanted to set about 30 days because of experience consideration. And just got to show proof of employment. And then, yeah.
I will put in chat with you. You can just let the judge know, and then she'll let you know whether we can release it or not.
Thank you.
All right, could I see Detective Flores, please? All right. Excuse me, could you cut off the video, please? Thank you. Jacob Minchow. All right, what is happening with this case?
Your Honor, we conferred with the state, with Brittany, and essentially we're in agreement on setting this thing out 30 days and him getting tested on a weekly basis to show that he is clean. And also he needs to show proof of his employment to probation today. And then when we come back in 30 days, we revisit if he tests positive, the state is going to be making a recommendation of revocation of CMP.
All right, probation. All right, Mr. Minchow, if you tested today, what are the results going to be?
He already tested today, Judge.
And what were the results?
The results were negative with like inconclusive on MTD, which stands for methadone, which is he does not use. So it was otherwise a negative test.
That's correct. Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Minchow. Can I have a 3-week reset? We'll see where we are.
That will only get 3 tests, Judge. You sure you don't want to do 4 just to get 4 tests? Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, all right, we're gonna come back on August 18th. And probation.
Yes, Your Honor.
We're gonna make this a contested. And if it's not a contested, then it's not a contested. And Mr. Powers, if you know it's not gonna be a contested, let the court know.
I will, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Powers, can you have your client come back for a moment? Mr. Minchow, why were you late today?
Honestly, I was trying to get my baby ready and it was my fault. I'm not trying to blame it on her. It was my fault. We got up a little late and ran.
All right, don't be late anymore, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, are the parties ready on Arnisa Brent?
Okay. She hasn't been sworn in.
No, she's been sworn.
Oh, she has? Okay.
Yes.
I apologize.
We move quickly in here. The staff is awesome.
This is.
Okay, Brenna, before we go on the record, Ms. Brent, I'm being told that you were not giving your magistrate warning, so I'm gonna give those to you now. This is just to allow you to be informed about your rights, okay? All right, so you're charged with endangering a child. You have a right to remain silent, right to remain counsel. The court will note that you have your counsel present. You have the right to have a counsel appointed if you can't afford one. You'll be allowed a reasonable time to speak with your attorney. You have a right to have your attorney present during any interview with any parties. That includes peace officers, attorneys for the state. Once you begin an interview, you can terminate it at any time. You're not required to make any statement, but if you do make a statement may be used against you at trial or in any court proceeding. If you're a foreign national, you have a right to have access to your consulate. If you desire to have a court-appointed attorney, there's a process. You have to be determined to be indigent. There's a form for you to fill out. If you need help filling out that application, a clerk will assist you in that application. Once a court-appointed attorney is appointed to you, that attorney is to contact you within 24 hours of your appointment. And if that appointment is done on a Friday, then they will contact you the next business day. Do you want a court-appointed attorney or do you already have an attorney? All right, I need you to sign here that I've gone over your rights and that you understand.
Can we just come around here to do this, Judge?
Yes.
You have a pen, so just go ahead.
Okay, is it me or is it extremely hot in this court? All right, thank you.
Here's your sign.
And state any recommendation for bond, although I know we're gonna do a plea.
Whatever the court would like to do.
All right, I'll set the bond at 5,000. All right, we're ready to go on the record, Brenna. Court is calling 2022 CR 6879W, State of Texas versus Armisa Brent. We're gonna have parties announced for the record for the state,
Brittany Sparks.
for the defense.
George Sharman.
Off the record for Norma, could you send an email to administration, Lance and Anna, and let them know it's extremely hot in the courtroom? Okay, just one moment. You can always tell when people are passing out from the heat. All right, we're back on the record. And are you Anissa Brent? I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Right on Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes,
All right, did you understand that you have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to tender an indictment?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand your attorney has certain rights, namely 2 days, the passage of 2 days from the presentation of the information and 10 days to prepare for jury trial? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, sir.
All right, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights on Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Defense, how long have you represented Ms. Brent?
Several months, Judge.
Ms. Brent, I'm going to show you what's entitled information. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the information that's presented?
Judge, and there should be 2 cases in front of you that she's pointing to.
We will get to that one in just a second. State, are you proceeding on the information that's presented?
Yes, Judge.
All right, defense, I'm showing you what's entitled acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case in which you review with your client?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Brent, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Judge, this should be a deferred adjudication application.
Well, you all need to change that then.
Does it have a W on?
No.
It's in the other file.
But it's, Brenna, but it's still a Thursday. All right, let me just see.
They put it in the wrong file.
Oh,
That's
that's okay. It happens. All right, Ms. Brent, I'm going to show you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, just give me a moment because there are things that are out of order. Just 1 second. All right, the court is also going to call 2021 CR 10420, State of Texas versus Amisa Brent. Brent, could I have the parties announced for the record for the state,
Brittany Scott.
for the defense?
George Sharman.
And are you Miss Brent?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and this cause number defense, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Sorry, just 1 second. Now I will tell you the application in this case has disappeared. Just 1 second. All right, in this clause, I'm going to show you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, we're proceeding on the lesser included of the Class B DWI first.
Any objection?
No objection.
In cause number 2000, well, in each of the cause numbers, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did.
All right, in cause number 2022 CR 6849W, you're charged by information with the offense of endangerment of a child. The range of punishment for that is anywhere from 2 to 10, I'm sorry, anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
And in cause number 2021 CR 10420, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated as a Class B misdemeanor. The range of punishment for that offense is up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, I do.
In each of the cause numbers, if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, I do.
In each of the cause numbers, you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent. Did you understand?
Yes, I do.
Did you understand by entering into plea bargain agreements in each of these cause numbers, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, I do.
And then did you intend to give up those rights and enter into plea bargain agreements in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, I do.
Did you understand in cause number 2022 CR 6849W, if the court grants your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, I do.
Counsel, in each of these cause numbers, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Judge.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe your client has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Confident that she does.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe your client is currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
This Grant, in each of the cause numbers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter your plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than a plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Then in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived the right to jury trial. Off the record for a moment, Ms. Ferguson. The inmate who's listed has no video or audio. All right, could you let the deputies know? I think he's playing with his audio and his video. All right. And each of the cause numbers, I'm going to show you what's entitled plea bargaining agreement. Did you review those pages with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, sir.
And cause number 2021 CR 10420, according to the plea bargaining agreement, state is proceeding on a lesser included offense of Class B DWI first. Punishment is to be assessed at 180 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's $1,000 fine to be probated. The state recommends community supervision. This will be concurrent with 2022 CR 6849W. And cause number 2022 CR 6849W. The state has recommended $1,000 fine to be probated. They recommend deferred adjudication, and this will run concurrent with 2021 CR 10420. Did you understand that to be the plea bargaining agreement in each of the cause numbers?
Yes, sir.
Defense is at the plea bargaining agreement in each of the cause numbers.
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargaining agreement in each of the cause numbers. All right, off the record for a moment. Defense, you didn't sign the documents, and neither did your client.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Salcedo, is his attorney?
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Brent, in each of the cause number, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, have there been any such motions? All right, next I'm showing you outside the plea bargaining agreement in cause number 2021 CR 10420. The state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a top evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, DWI education, VIP, admission interlock for the full term. And in cause number 2022 CR 6849W, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, sir.
Then in cause number 2021 CR 10420, the lesser included offense of DWI is a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yes.
In cause number 2022 CR 6879W, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence to support the defendant's guilty, please.
Yes, Judge, State Office States Exhibit 1 and all attachments in both cause numbers.
No objection.
Ms. Brent, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them, and did you sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, sir.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, police reports, but most importantly, in each of these cause numbers, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. In each of the cause numbers, the court will accept it to evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, in each of the cause numbers, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty in 2021 CR 10420. The court will defer finding of guilt and cause number 2022 CR 6879W as you applied for deferred adjudication. And I see here that on the document sheet, it says deferred adjudication for the Class D BWI, but she's not applying for deferred for that. Is that
Can't
correct?
get it.
No, I'm not asking you that. I'm asking what is on this document sheet.
Right. We're not applying for that.
All right, thank you. All right, are you both ready to proceed with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, there are a few things, but my client is in the military. This was a very difficult choice for her to make. I know you saw that there was an accident in this case. I wanted you to understand that the lady that she hit in the accident, it was nighttime. She had her lights off and she was stopped in the middle of the freeway. So because of that, we've had to face the music here. This is going to affect her military career, but she's very sincere and accepting responsibility. Hopes that you will follow this plea bargaining agreement and run these concurrently so that for whatever is remaining of her career, that she's going to carry it out.
All right, so I understand that, a person may be stopped in the middle of the highway or the middle of the road. This is San Antonio. As I told people before, pedestrians will run across the freeway, walk on the freeway. I don't know why. I've only seen that happen in San Antonio, but for some reason, people will do that. But that doesn't take away from the fact that that you were driving intoxicated with a 3-year-old in a car, and that an accident occurred, and that the 3-year-old could have been killed. What I've learned from being a judge and a defense attorney and also a prosecutor is that usually when people drive intoxicated, and I always tell people my statistics professor would not approve of this study that I've done because I haven't done a real study, but it's just what I've seen is that the persons who usually walk away from accidents are the person who's intoxicated. The person who usually gets killed is the passenger, or it's either the person that they hit. So this could have turned out worse than what it is. The 3-year-old could be dead because somebody decided to take a drink and drive. Me personally, I don't drink alcohol. I think it's nasty. It doesn't taste good to me. But if people are going to drink, they need to do it responsibly. And most definitely, if you're driving with a child, and I'm assuming that's your child,
Yes, ma'am.
driving with a child in a vehicle, having had alcohol is a big no-no. And I know people think, 3-year-old won't remember. They usually end up remembering. They may not remember who, what, when, but they do remember that they were in an accident. You understand? So what have you been doing to rectify this situation as far as your drinking issues?
I've been in behavioral health, been diagnosed, been taking therapy outside of the military as well with better help. And I minimize only wine in the home versus going in the rooms.
So what are you planning on doing with your career? I know people think this means that your military career is over, but not necessarily.
In terms of my military career, I'll have to face. Excuse me. I'll have to face whatever comes, but I have a good support system from my family and my fiance who will work some things out for the future so I can still live a safe life.
So does she have any criminal history?
No, but I do have one comment to make, if I may, Judge.
We all can make comments. We're here.
Okay.
I'm trying to do what
If
I feel
she's
is
able
best.
to keep her position in the military, she is required on duty to to carry a sidearm. And I know that you're going to admonish her about firearms as a result of this, even though it's a deferred adjudication during her probationary.
I'm not admonishing about firearms under deferred adjudication. I don't see why she wouldn't be allowed to have a firearm if she's on base, but outside of base, absolutely not. I don't know if the state, you're not going to have any objections to that, are you?
No.
So that's not an issue.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, so with regards to the DWI, and this is just me putting that out there, she doesn't have any criminal history, it appears. At least that's what I'm being told. How do I say this? Is there a reason? I don't understand the deferred adjudication for the felony and the conviction for the misdemeanor. And does the conviction for the misdemeanor negatively impact her military service as opposed to the felony case? And mind you, I take DWIs very seriously, but as a person who's looking at cases objectively, these are my thoughts. So I'm wondering, what is the purpose or reason to give her a conviction on the misdemeanor case? These are just questions that I have. Because honestly, there are some people that should have a conviction on their record. There are some people who maybe should not have a conviction on a record, but I'm being told she's military. I'm assuming, and if I'm wrong, someone please correct me. I'm assuming this is her first contact with the law in a negative way. Am I wrong in that? So I'm trying to figure out, why is there a conviction on the misdemeanor? And I understand that the state, I understand your negotiations that the felony has been reduced to a misdemeanor. I just, looking at it globally, is this a person that should have a conviction?
And Judge, do you want me to explain our rationale for the DWI conviction, or?
Just can we have a moment?
Yes.
So our rationale was just based off of the facts of the case. In the body cam video, Miss Brent admits to it drove from Houston to San Antonio before being in the accident.
Yes.
And there is a bottle of vodka found in her purse. So because of that, that was our rationale of doing the DWI conviction, to hopefully prevent this from happening again. But we'll respect the court's decision if you'd like to defer.
If the court so decides.
All right. So, and I understand the state's rationale, and again, I know there are some cases that there should be convictions, but I mean, right now I have before me a person who doesn't have any other contact with law other than this, and I'm well aware that usually, I don't know if it's your situation, usually when people have a DWI, this is usually like the first time they got caught, but they're still drinking. So I'm just trying to determine whether or not deferred adjudication. Yes,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am. Can I say something?
Yes.
I guess from the state's perspective, we based our recommendation on what Brittany just said. We understand the court's concern and the court's point of view. If we would not object to her applying for deferred on the DWI, the only thing we would ask is maybe for PSI or TAP, just so that we can all be sure that there are no other concerns.
All right. And the state is well aware. I usually never do this.
That's good.
But to me, this is a unique situation and a unique case. So, Ms. Brent, I can sentence you today. And if I sentence you today, there's going to be a conviction on the DWI. But if you would like, I can consider deferred adjudication, but there would be a PSI that would be completed and we would come back on another date for me to make the decision of whether or not to do that.
Defer to it. Do the investigation.
So what do you wish to do?
I'd like to do it for sense investigation.
So here's the thing about that. Ms. Brent, worst case scenario is that you have a conviction for the DWI after I review the report. But I want some more information because I know that the state wasn't expecting me to do this. And I do understand the state's rationale for wanting you to have a conviction. I'm sort of looking at it globally, which I know they looked at it globally because they're giving me the facts of your case. But I know that you've served in the military and that you have not had any other contact with law enforcement negatively other than this. And also, if there is some negative contact with law enforcement that I don't know about, the PSI report is going to tell us that as well. Okay. All right. So in each of the, Ms. Ferguson, could you give me a PSI date for each of these cases, please? All right, so we're going to come back on September 6th, and I'm going to want a TAP evaluation. And she said that she's receiving behavioral. Can we do a MIC evaluation just in case?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, I tap and
Yes. And so, Ms. Brent, be sure to give probation the information about whatever services you're availing yourself of that are with the military. All right, and they're going to give you a reset form. We'll be back on September 6th. And at that time, I'll make a decision on your case. All right, is there anything else?
That's all good.
All right, you're welcome. Yes.
Are you gonna keep this?
Yes.
On the tested NPR on Gloria Mendoza, you said that we were going to try and do it either today or sometime soon.
Yes.
I want to find out when we're going to do that, because we need to bring our evidence.
Oh, we can do it today.
And if we do it today, it's going to be difficult to get the evidence that's out of the house.
Okay.
If we could do it even tomorrow, that would be better.
Okay, just give me 1 moment. All right, thank you. Can I see the Roger Wilson, please? Where's Mr. Wilson?
He is coming in.
All right.
Blue shirt.
All right. Let me find him on the document sheet.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, what is happening on this case? And you probably want to just move over here. No, no, you're in the center. Mr. Wilson, you're in the center and you're.
Oh,
over here.
sorry, Judge.
Yes. Grazie. All right, what is happening with this case today? Is this plea deadline day?
Yes, Judge. Essentially, state's made an offer. My client still desires to take this matter to trial. Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Wilson, today is your plea deadline date, so the court will not consider any plea bargaining agreements after today. So if you decide to enter a plea, that has to be open to the court. Do you understand?
I do.
All right, Ms. Ferguson or Mr. Wilson, can I have a jury trial date, please? All right, and say how long do you expect your presentation of the case to be?
I don't see it being longer than a day and a half.
It's about right. Judge.
All right, and it will be for a day and a half. Okay, do you have Mr. Young's case? His client is, what is your client's name, Mr. Young?
Gloria Mendoza, Your Honor.
Mendoza. All right, so your jury trial date is going to be August 23rd.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
And that one's done. Raleigh Williams. Who's the attorney for Raleigh Williams? Oh, the last name has Ryland hyphen Williams.
Yes.
All right, and we're just, why is she in custody?
Judge Angelini did the sentencing on this case, placed her on 10 years deferred adjudication. After the case was, after the sentencing date, the victim in this case asked the state to alternate amend conditions to have no contact with the victim as part of the sentencing. And so that's what we're here for.
But she's in custody because the judge ordered a 180-day jail sanction.
Okay.
And she's going to go into, not safety, the other.
DDR. So y'all just asking that there be no contact?
Yes, Judge, it wasn't originally ordered, so it was an oversight on the state's part to ask for a time sentencing.
All right, who is the no contact with?
Judge, I'm sorry, the names listed in the state's motion. Do you have them?
Oh, thank you. All right, so you don't have no contact with the complainant. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and there's also an address that's related to that. All right, Brenda, we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling 2021 CR 11076, State of Texas versus Monique Renee Raleigh Williams. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the defense?
Anthony Cantrell for the defendant.
All right, it's the court's understanding that Judge Angeline entered the sentence in this case, and the state has filed a motion requesting that there be no contact with the complainant or the complainant's address. Defense, do you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then that will be ordered. Ms. Raleigh Williams, you're not to have any contact with the complainant, nor the complainant's address. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know if I'm sorry, I don't know if Judge Angelini ordered it or not. But for employment, the court does not allow employments at home as a home healthcare provider or with minors. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and probation on Ms. Raleigh, once she's released, I'm gonna want field visits at least 2 times per month to make sure that there are no issues. All right.
One thing that wasn't really clear, Judge, is that if she gets placed in a bed for her healthcare treatment,
Mhm.
will that count towards her jail time or not?
If she's in inpatient treatment, yes, it does count towards that.
So she doesn't have to serve the 180 days first and then do that.
Technically, yes, but this is what the court is going to do. Just put her on the list for DGRF as quickly as possible, but she's going to remain in custody until she's transferred to DGRF.
It was my understanding Judge Angelini wanted her to do the 180 days first and then over to DDRF.
Yeah.
So
Let's try to get her to DGRF as quickly as possible.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Because I don't want her to be at the jail if the bed is available, because otherwise they'll pass over her.
Yes.
All right, Mary Diaz, is there something else?
She's asking me this, right? And I think I asked Judge Angelini that she had, how many days back time? 10 months back time, but I think Judge Angelini still wanted her to do the 180 days.
Yes, she's not getting credit
Yeah.
for the 10 months back time as part of the 180 days. But what I just informed probation is to have you remain in custody, and you'll be transferred to DDRF as soon as the first bed is available for you. Okay, thank you.
Thanks again, Judge.
Right, Caroline, do you have the file for John Young's? There's I don't see it here. Maybe I'm missing it.
It was on the docket, right?
Yes.
Okay, we must have it in there.
I don't see it anywhere. All right, as soon as we get it, I'll take you up, okay? Sorry.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, that's okay. All right, here we are. Gloria Mendoza.
You want her to come up here?
Yes, Gloria Mendoza. All right, so defense is telling me that this is going to be a contested hearing,
Yes, Judge.
but I've looked in the motion. It appears that there's allegations of not reporting, no employment, and not doing drug testing. So I don't think there should be such a wide gap for contested. Am I wrong?
Would agree, Judge.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, sir.
for Ms. Mendoza, can we have a contested hearing for next week, please? And Ms. Mendoza, you're going to be tested today. What are the results going to be?
I should be clean.
All right.
Do it on Thursday.
Okay. All right, we'll come back on Thursday for a contested hearing.
Good. Thank you, Your Honor. At 9?
How many witnesses are you anticipating? How many?
2.
All right. Yeah, we'll be back at 9. So that'll be July 28th, and you're going to provide a UA today. Do you need any water?
No.
Okay, all right, thank you. I just have a seat, they'll give you a UA. Yes, 9. It shouldn't take that long.
Actually, you talked to Mary Diaz, right?
I'm calling her now in a moment. Here you are. All right, Mary Diaz.
We're ready. We're here, Judge.
All right, the jury trial is October 3rd. We're here today for discovery. Is there a discovery issue?
Just this is one last time where we had a reset due to the voluminous discovery that was missing from the state. Report back to the court. The only thing we've requested it once, but we're in the process of re-requesting it is EMS records. But that's the only thing that I believe in reviewing the case and conferring with defense, I believe is missing at this point.
I do believe that's accurate. I'm having my assistant go through the newly updated discovery, but at this point, I'm kind of relying on Michael with regard to whatever we don't have yet. So.
How long is it going to take for you to have the MS records?
30. Conservatively, 30 days. I know my understanding is we requested it once. I don't know if there was got lost in their paperwork or whatever after the last hearing. And so that's how long it should take.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can we recall Ms. Diaz in 30 days, please? Your jury trial date is still going to be October 3rd.
Thank you, Judge. Yeah, that's fine for me. That is not good for me. I'll be out of town.
All right, so the only issue is that he has EMS records.
I understand.
We can do it slightly before.
Yeah, if that's okay. Yeah, I'll be.
Thumbs up, okay. All right, so we're gonna come back on August 22nd. Ms. Diaz, your jury trial date and plea deadline date is still October 3rd. Do you understand? All right, just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So.
Who's here on Chris Gonzalez? Chris Gonzalez. Okay. All right, Mr. Gonzalez, come up, please. What date do you want to give it, Ms. Ferguson? Okay. All right, we're gonna bring you back on August 8th. Your attorney is out ill, okay? Brenda, do you see what page Chris Gonzalez is on?
6.
Oh, thank you.
My excuse.
Yes.
Thank you.
Who's here for Victor Rivas?
I am.
Yes. Where is Victor Rivas? All right, Mr. Rivas, why were you late today?
I missed the bus, I'm sorry, last minute. Right. What happened?
Here's the thing, I'm not gonna tolerate you being late anymore.
No
So
excuses.
you need to make plans. If you're taking the bus, which I used to take the VIA bus, and I would always take the earliest bus. So even though my cases would not start till 10, I would end up downtown at 7 a.m.
No, I had a ride, my ride had a family emergency and I. had to
Here's
take
the thing,
it
you
out.
can't-
I had no excuse.
Here's the thing about that, you can't depend on other people,
That's right.
right? It's on you. So where are we with these cases?
Your Honor, there was an offer that was made and it was conveyed to me today by Daniel over here. I conveyed it to the client and he will have probably more questions. I don't know if we're under a plea deadline at this point, Judge, but I would ask for some time.
You have all the discovery?
I believe I do, yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Rivas, can I have a plea deadline date and jury trial date, please? All right, your plea deadline date and jury trial date is September 27th. At that time, if you decide, you will have your jury trial date on that date. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too. And counsel on Mr. Rivas. Excuse me, attorney on Mr. Rivas. Don't leave without a discovery acknowledgement.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right, and state who needs a discovery acknowledgement on the Rivas cases, please. Norman, did you say September 27th or 27th? Okay, thank you. Okay, all right, thank you. Israel Moreno. Good morning. So today is your client's plea deadline date.
Judge, we're asking for a trial setting.
So Mr. Moreno, you're requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you decide to enter into an agreement, the court will only accept pleas that are open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state, I'm gonna need an acknowledgement of discovery.
Okay, just give me a second. I'll get it done.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Israel Moreno. All right, your jury trial date will be September 6th. You will be brought over from the jail, dressed in whatever clothing you have at the jail. If you would like to appear in some other attire, you need to make those arrangements with your attorney. If there's an issue with the clothing exchange, just let the court know and we'll see what we can do to expedite that.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson. No, his plea deadline date has expired. I just have a seat in the box. Your client, your attorney will have documents for you to sign. Rogelio Sanchez. Who's the attorney for Rogelio Sanchez? Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, Mr. Cox.
Morning, Judge. My approach
Yes. Where is Rogelio Sanchez?
is in the box.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, come on up.
And I just, a confirmation that President Biden had COVID. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Now, I'm not seeing that connection between him and Mr. Yokes. It's just a
But
coincidence.
you just bring that out there. Are you
That it
saying
can
that,
happen. It can happen.
are you saying that your client was with President Biden and he?
I can't admit or deny that. Judge.
Okay, Well, they show that Biden has mild symptoms and he's still doing his
You
job.
can't
with a
travel.
mask.
Can't travel.
No, he can't travel,
Can't travel.
but that means from state to state. That doesn't mean down the street
He's
to the
on, he's got his
courthouse.
own plane. He can't travel.
So are you saying you have the medical information for your, Mr. Yost?
Oh, I don't have that at this point, Judge, but what I was doing, I was just making a reference to the president.
Oh, I
I may
appreciate
have to
it.
list him as a witness. Material witness.
And you know what? I will contact him and we will have him here. All right, Mr. Sanchez.
I don't think he's in the box.
Hmm?
I don't think he's in the box. Okay.
He didn't walk out.
He's here.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm not sure that he didn't walk out.
Okay, I appreciate that. Well, Miss Enriquez, I'm going to see you to a breakout room with your client.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And everyone just give me a moment, please.
Oh, you won't be able to hear her. Yeah.
Hey, are you with mom? Okay, are you with mom? All right, so I'm gonna let you go. All right, thanks. Okay, bye-bye. You know, I always have to check in with mom.
That's good. I kind of just looking at the television and say, makes him look heavy. You know, that's.
Well, I mean, I guess that's a sign they're feeding people well at the jail.
Oh, no, it's just commissary.
Okay. All right, what is happening with this case?
Your Honor, this case was reset to make sure that the discovery that say with a lot of discovery, we have it on one of those, not a thumb drive, but the larger one.
Mhm.
So that was given to us. So the reason we were brought back was just to make sure that the discovery was tendered to us. And so at this point, Judge, I think that we have everything.
Okay, but we're also here too, because we were here last day on May 16th. It was recalled for July 5th. And I guess there were some issues because I don't have anything after July 5th. And the state was to inform the defense if they were seeking the death penalty or not. So has that decision been made?
Judge, I don't know. I just know about the discovery issue, so I
Okay.
texted Ryan, he like updated me on that.
All right, so there are no more discovery issues?
I don't think there will be, Judge. It's a lot that we have to go through. So if, and I know that process is ongoing with the state if they come up with any additional information. But at this point, we're satisfied that the information has been tended to.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, what I want is I want a 45-day reset. Mr. Cox, I stopped you before you asked for 60. So in a 45-day reset time, state, I need to know if you all are going to be seeking the death penalty or not. Is that giving you enough time to review that and make a decision on that?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and then I'm going to want an acknowledgement of discovery on that date as well. And then the next thing, what I will do after that, I will give you another date for the state to tender an offer. And then I will give you a plea deadline date.
I'll do it for September 15th.
All right, so on September 15th, two things. State is to inform the defense whether or not they're seeking the death penalty, and I want an acknowledgement of discovery. Is there anything else? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson. I don't know what your client's bond situation is, but I'd like for people to be aware when they're coming back to court.
September 15th.
Okay.
All right, and that will be all. Ms. Ferguson will give you the reset forms. Just give me one moment. I'm sorry. Did you see what page Mr. Sanchez is on?
Yes, page 6.
All right, thank you. Yes.
Ms. Mendoza just tested positive for methamphetamines and amphetamines.
All right, would you like to have, could you have Mr. Young come back? And Ms. Mendoza, you need to remain seated in the courtroom. Yeah.
Good word.
Victoria, Ms. Kias. Where's your client?
She is sitting right there, Judge.
All right, come up. Have you conferred?
We have, we put in for a PTD and we checked this morning and it looks like it's still not decided on.
Okay. Why were you late this morning?
I was supposed to be here at 11. I'm sorry. On the paper it's at 11.
Okay. And you missed me pronouncing your name correctly. Brenda, that is, sometimes that's very rare.
I've really got it.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a reset date on Ms. Gibbs for PTD?
Yes, sir. We can go back on August 29th.
All right, August 29th, get a reset form for Ms. Ferguson, and that will be at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
And she has a, does she have a reset form? I'll fill it out for them so they can go. Oh, okay, thank you. Isaiah Jarhu. Morning.
Morning, Judge.
All right, so what is happening with this? The state was to tender an offer.
I did tender an offer today, Judge.
Okay.
They did, Judge. I would just ask if I could have another setting for discovery. I received the CPS records. I've reviewed the child safe video at the district attorney's office. There's quite a bit of information on a phone dump, Judge, and I still need to go through all that. So I would ask if I could get one more setting to review all that before my client has a deadline.
Okay, so do you have all the discovery done?
I believe so, Judge, yes. And we've signed a discovery acknowledgement. That's you.
Oh, because I was like, where is it? All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset for Isaiah Jar?
Varyu.
Varyu?
Varyu.
But that's a J. Oh, it's cut off. See? The V is cut off. It's like a J. Varyu.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
I can do August 25th.
All right.
And Judge, I think I'm going to be out near the end of August. Can I get maybe a beginning of September date if possible?
Where are you going to be?
Well, my wife is going to deliver sometime in August, so.
Does she want you to deliver? Are you just gonna be there to pass out, or are you gonna be there to help?
No, I'm going to be there to help, Judge.
All right, because I've seen some videos where people are just there passing out, and the nurses have to stop delivering the baby to pick the dad up off the floor.
I don't anticipate that with Mr. Navy.
It might happen, I don't know.
I had faith in you.
Well, if it happens, can you make sure that it's on video so that we can circulate it?
No, Judge. I don't want that getting out.
But that would be a story they can always tell your child. Your dad passed out. Don't you do that?
Yeah.
A teaching moment.
Yeah.
September, you want to do September 6th?
Yes, sir, if we could.
We will do September 6th, and thereafter you will have a plea deadline date.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Please don't pass out.
I'll try not to.
And Michael, you were covering for him, but he's like, no, it may happen.
Yeah, sometimes try to help people, they just don't want to accept your help.
Brenda, what pages?
Oh. You have to recall.
All right, thank you.
Judge, on Victor Rivas, when we approached on earlier, I have the discovery acknowledgement signed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
808.
Reno Corrales. Hello, where's your client? All right, have him come up. All right, good afternoon. Well, good morning, Mr. Corrales.
Good morning.
All right, so defense, have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Judge.
All right, state, I'm gonna need an acknowledgement of discovery. State, did you tender an offer?
Yes, Judge.
And Mr. Corrales, are you rejecting the offer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and are you requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and the court will note that on June 23rd, an offer was tendered, and today was the plea deadline date. I was informed by defense counsel that the defendant said that he would not accept anything. Your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any pleas unless they're open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Mr. Corrales, please. And how long do you expect the state's case to last?
Judge, this is another case that Ryan has handled, so I'm not.
Okay.
Witnesses.
All right.
Judge, is it possible to get a September trial date?
Just 1 second. She's gonna let us know what dates are available.
It's not gonna be in September. So yeah.
That's too early?
No, I have a lot happening.
That's fine. We just have another trial in August.
Okay.
That's.
Oh, thank you. Those are back up. It's John's phone.
But right now I'm looking at like November 1st.
Well, that's the only time we have available. And you're crowning. My birthday is in November, and I like to take the entire month, but I will not.
Oh.
So I'm gonna be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know it seems like it's a long time, but if you can imagine, our court, we have a lot of cases. And so I want to make sure that you have a fair trial, your attorney has a fair trial, the state has a fair trial. So your attorney has just informed the court that they have a trial coming up in August. And I'm sure that client wants their undivided attention. And I know that when you come up for jury trial, you want your attorney's undivided attention. You don't want their attention to be elsewhere, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you say November 1st?
Yes, ma'am.
So your trial is, your jury trial date is going to be November 1st.
Thank you.
All right, and just 1 second before you all go, Norma, even though it's November 1st, can we get a date for them? Probably like 45 days out so that we can make sure that everything is taken care of and there are no issues, okay? So, well, your jury trial date is going to be November 1st, but I want to have another setting for you before November 1st so I can just make sure that nobody is coming in to say, oh, we have something new that we haven't seen. Because if that happens, you may not be going on November 1st, okay?
I do September 1st.
All right, is that okay for you?
Yes, Judge.
All right, September 1st, but your jury trial date is going to be on November 1st.
Got it. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Yes, just put discovery compliance, yeah.
September 1st, that's a national holiday.
Yeah.
It's opening day for dove season.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah, Coach John.
Just give me one moment, please.
The judge asked me to come back.
All right, you may want to speak to probation about your client's UA results.
I think the other badass.
Yeah. So probation is here to speak to you about that.
Hi, Mr. Ventura.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Brenda, what page was he on?
Which one?
Let me see. Just 1 second. Brenda, we have a lot of cases today.
Was it a capital?
No, it's a murder.
A murder.
All right.
Is it Jeffrey Zarka's case?
Yes.
Okay, on page 6.
All right, thank you. Let's go see if we can get Coronas. All right, thank you. Kevin Johnson, I'm sorry, you needed to approach. And then we're gonna take up Kevin Johnson. Yes.
So would they stay behind the, I just want to I just want to let you know that first row on the left side. is 7 new hires for the probation department. In case you're like our investment officer.
Oh, no problem.
So I figured we'd put them to your work. I remember you from drug court days. So.
Oh, hey, thank you. All right. So the new hires for probation?
Yes, the entire first row.
Hello, first row, new hires for probation. I hope nothing is happening that is making you change your mind about what you decided to do. It's a great profession. All right, thank you. All right, Kevin Johnson. Who's the defense attorney for Kevin Johnson?
Miguel Hernandez.
Miguel Hernandez. All right, so where is Miguel Hernandez?
He went to county court one earlier, but she felt that there was a lot of people. Let me give him a call.
All right, so we will call this up as soon as he comes back, and just give me a moment. I know you what you're here for, just a second. Yes.
My client says she has not used drugs. She does not know why it came positive for methamphetamine.
All right, we're gonna see her back on 7/28. They may add the UA.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's the 20, I thought it was 27.
No, it's the 28th. That's what I have on the document.
Okay.
All right, you may want to check with Ms. Ferguson, but my understanding is the 28th.
28th, it's a Thursday.
Okay. You're next up in this case, Mr. Martinez. Melvin Jones.
Right here, Judge.
Hello.
Morning, Jen.
Morning. So what is happening with Mr. Jones?
Judge, at issue right now is Mr. Jones has 5, possibly 6 cases. I know we were sent for trial on the sex case, the prostitution case. Mr. Jones has subsequently picked up a reading case, one of them is a 1st degree. Then there's another drug case out there, and that's what Mrs. Harrington and I were talking about, because we just literally looked it up and got the lab reports back. But it's missing for one of the cases. If it's even, we're not sure what they're doing. So we're trying to look at videos and police reports, see exactly why he was charged with a separate drug case outside of another drug case.
Okay, so what are the new cases?
Drugs.
Drugs. All right.
And the UMP. And they'll be part of a 404B issue.
So it's not going to, you're not handling that as a trial issue just for 404B purposes?
Yes, Judge, but also in possible negotiations to determine what cases we have to be able to wrap up into a plea bargain agreement, but defense hasn't seen the discovery yet on those cases to determine whether or not, or how to advise the client on those cases as well as part of an agreement offer.
And as you all know, for this court, this is an old case, but Mr. Porter, I see that you were appointed on July 19th.
No, I understand that, Judge, and I'll be ready when the court needs me to be ready. I just
Oh,
need
no,
to
I know
be
you
ready
can't.
as far as.
Yeah, no, I know you can't go forward without receiving this other information. So when are you expecting to turn that new information for the new cases over to him?
It's more so, Judge, that I believe that everything's there. It just needs to be sorted out of how it was charged and what he was arrested for, because it's two separate drug offenses from the same date, same offense, but the lab report is not exactly matching up with what he was charged with. And those files have been in intake. And so I pulled up today, oh, we do have the labs. We reviewed that information we've been discussing. I think we both have to go back and look at the actual report and where this additional charge came from.
There was a third bag of evidence. We don't know what it is because. Wait, same, or is it something different that we just said we don't care? I don't know.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, when is the next jury trial date available? And what I'll do is I'll make this as a jury trial date and a plea deadline date.
I can do the September 6th.
All right, so we're gonna set your jury trial date for September 6th, and that will be your plea deadline date. I'm giving you extra time for the plea deadline date because I'm being told that there's some new information. If there are issues with the discovery, please let me know in August.
No, well, we work well.
Okay, all right, so what will happen on that date, you'll be brought over dressed for trial. You'll be brought over dressed for trial in whatever clothing you have at the jail. If you want to wear some other attire, you need to speak to your attorney. And if there's some issues with that, let the court know and we'll see if we can expedite that.
Just properly, Judge.
All right, is there anything else?
No.
All right, and if you all can make sure that when appropriate, the acknowledgement of discovery is given to the court.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. See you on September 6th.
Okay.
All right, and Mr. Porter, did you get the information for the other case from Ms. Ferguson?
I did, Your Honor. That's my understanding. She said for Monday. I think it's Monday.
Yes.
Monday. So.
All right, thank you.
Judge, I'm on it.
I know you're on it. Hey, you're awesome. All right, Miguel Hernandez.
Yes, Judge.
On Mr. Johnson.
We're ready, Judge.
All right, and this is for sentencing.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Court is calling 2022 CR 0816 State of Texas versus Kevin Anthony Johnson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Lorena Romo for the state.
For the defense?
Miguel Hernandez for the defense.
And are you Mr. Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, on June 23rd, you enter a plea of no contest to the offense. There, according to the plea bargain agreement, there are no applications. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 12 months in a state jail facility. There is to be no contact with the complainant. And there's an agreement there. There's 1 day for credit for time served, judgment sat on a violation of protective order case. And that's County Court 640264. And credit for any time served under this case. Outside the agreement, the defense will ask for the credit for the time served on a misdemeanor after the offense date. Have both parties received, was there a PSI report done?
There was not. This was reset for sentencing, and all his priors are with Bear County. And I made a representation. They all involve the same victim. I made a representation that I would summarize all for the court.
All right. All right, are both parties ready to proceed? State,
State is ready.
defense?
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Okay. Your Honor, this particular case involves Jade Olguin, Olguin. She was 18 years old. Police were called because this defendant contacted the uncle, made some, and this is part of State's Exhibit number 1 that was already given to the court as part of this plea bargain agreement. Left a message where he was threatening retaliation against Jade Olguin. They had been in a dating relationship. They were no longer in a dating relationship. Also in that threatening message, videos were attached. One of the videos attached was her performing fellatio on him. There was a second video where she is masturbating.
All
That
right,
was
and-
sent to her uncle.
Okay, and I want both parties to know for the record that the court remembers the case and remembers the facts.
Okay.
So if the recitation is what's in the
That was
stipulations.
the end of that recitation.
Okay, all right,
There
thank
was
you.
no PSI.
All right, yes.
So that was in January 27, 2019. That is the date of the felony case, okay? Now, the court also, or the state also has, and it's marked punishment PSX1, PSX2. Those are police reports.
Any objections?
And they've been tendered to defense counsel. I will summarize those for the court as well.
All right, then PS 1 and PS 2 are admitted into evidence.
Okay. SX1 or PSX1 is a terroristic threat report. It is under cause County Court 613763. That offense date is after the offense date of the present case before the court. Present case is January 2019. The terroristic threat that's in front of you happened on March 9th, 2019. He was booked on March 11th, 2019, released May 20th, 2019. His bond was increased 6/18/2019. On 7/9/2019, he was sentenced to 4 months Bexar County Jail. He was given credit for the 21 days that he already had in custody on that same date. And then 3 days later, on 7/12/2019, judgment was satisfied by the court. All of those dates post-date this. And then the second case is the violation of protective order. The offense date for that is May 20th, 2019. He received 1 day on that case. Credit for time served. I believe he was sentenced earlier this week. The facts of the terroristic threat. The defendant had reached out again to the same victim, Jade Olguin, saying he needed to talk to her. She agreed to talk to him because he said he was going to hurt himself with a shotgun. She is with another female. They meet at a park. When they're at the park, he takes her cell phone from her. He starts scrolling through her cell phone and walks away. She tries to get her cell phone back from him, and he's walking towards his car, and he says, "Look what I got." She didn't know what he meant, and he retrieves a shotgun out of the trunk of his car. It alarmed her. She said she feared for her life. He also displayed the shotgun, threatened harm to her. That is the terroristic threat. He's arrested for that offense. As part of that offense, there's supposed to be no contact with the victim. As I earlier told you, he was booked in March, released May 20th on 2019. On that same day, he was released May 20th, 2019. He's charged with violation of the bond conviction, violation of protective order. Jade Olguin calls the police, shows the police a screenshot from her phone where this defendant private messaged her, contacting her. That is the violation case. So all the cases in Bexar County stem from the same victim, Jade Olguin.
All right, so does he have any other criminal history?
Oh, you're on.
It shows there's 4 cases in Bear County, but the terroristic threat was inputted twice. So these are the only cases that he has. He has no other criminal history. This is all from a very bad breakup. Just wouldn't let go. She was 18 years old when all of this happened. When those very explicit videos are sent to her dad and her uncle. She's being threatened with a gun. She's being contacted after he's been ordered by a court not to contact her. The plea bargain in this case is a cap of 12 months state jail. I think 12 months is appropriate in this case. Also, no contact with the victim, Jade Oldine. And defense is going to ask for the credit for time served on the misdemeanors. I just promised I would put it in front of the court that that misdemeanor time was served after the date of this offense. And it looks that he has 21 days in the Bear County Jail. He also was booked twice on the terroristic threat because bond was increased. He was booked out of county. It's not very clear on MOCA or CJIS or judicial dialogue, but I was able to get the bonding paperwork, and defense counsel can correct me if I'm wrong, but after the date of the present offense that the court is going to be sentencing him on, I believe he has 2 days in Guadalupe County, 2 separate days, and he was booked on the violation of bond or protective order, and he is bonded out. So he should be given credit for at least those 2 days, if the court deems to give him credit on it, on anything, plus the 21 days that shows in Bear County. That is not part of the plea bargain offer. I'm just giving all that to the court for their information. And Miss Jade Oldine is not present in the courtroom today. She just wanted to be notified as to the sentencing, so there will be no victim impact.
Defense,
Your Honor,
with regards to the cap of the 12.
my client has taken responsibility. There is no more contact with the young lady. And speaking with him, he has made it abundantly clear that he understood that this was not a smart move on his part, that it was rather childish, rather dumb, and he basically knows better. He has moved on in his life. He has other people that he is now seeing. His mother was here at the last hearing. They're very concerned about him. They do love him. Nobody wishes anything wrong on Miss Holguin. He has taken responsibility for all the cases that have come before the court, be it this case or the prior cases. Because of that, Your Honor, I believe he's working right now on trying to maintain what he needs to do to get back. He was willing to follow anything the court would recommend for him to do, but he would ask the minimum on the state jail felony and credit, as much credit as he can get for the time that he's done regarding this or all of these cases, because they have involved the same person. And so that would be the request from the defense.
Is there anything you wish to say?
Yes, just that. I
Just
know.
one moment. Let me have you raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Could you state your name for the record?
Kevin Johnson.
All right, what did you want to say?
Just, I know what I did was wrong a couple of years, regardless of how long it was ago. I know that it was wrong and I shouldn't have done it. And since then, I think I've become a better person. And I mean, I have a new girlfriend. We've been together almost 4 years. My job, I work every day, Monday through Friday. Just overall, I think I've been a better person since then. And I know what I did was wrong, and it was just a dumb teenager thing to do.
Right, how old were you when this was going on?
20, I think, 20, almost 21. Now I'm 20, turning 24 in September.
I still don't understand why young people film themselves in intimate moments.
It's a dumb high school college thing to do. I'm mature.
And then I don't understand why I'm assuming that you love this person, is that correct?
I'm sorry, again.
I'm assuming that you love this person.
At one point in time, I did.
So, and I'm assuming that even after the breakup, you supposedly loved this person.
At one point in time.
And you were trying to, I guess, have the relationship continue, even though it had ended.
But just, I guess, in a way, there's no really explanation.
So I don't understand why you had a big issue with letting go.
Just,
I mean, when someone tells you your relationship is over, you need to move on. If you want to go in your house and cry over it, then you go in your house and cry over it. And, you know, smile, even though, as the song says, smile, even though your heart is breaking, and then go to your house and cry. But I don't understand. I've read the police reports and the stipulations in this. I don't understand why you couldn't let go. And honestly, I don't even understand with this new relationship, if she were to decide to break things off with you. I'm not saying she will, because I'm not in your relationship. I don't even understand why your behavior will be any different.
I believe it, because I'm not the same person. I think for the most part, at one point in time, I did have a problem with my anger. But since then, I mean, I'm not an anger person anymore.
What have you done to improve your anger
Just
issues?
changing people I've hung around, who I put myself with, who I associate my time with, and just that kind of stuff. Certain family members don't talk to anymore. Just that, all that kind of stuff, just kind of, and then just talking every day about my problems rather than.
But anger is your reaction to situations. So I don't understand how you're just saying, it appears to me, and if I'm wrong, please correct me. It appears to me that you're just saying that I don't put myself around people who may anger me. It doesn't appear that there's anything that has changed about your getting angry.
When I'm getting angry or something that upsets me, I just talk about it rather than not talking about it and getting more angry. That always seemed to be my problem before. When I would be upset, I would just let it be upset and then make myself more angry rather than talking about it.
All right. Any questions? Any questions? All right, thanks. So here's my question for both sides. Why should I follow this agreement? Why shouldn't this be more than 12 months?
Judge, I believe this is a state jail. Maximum is 2 years. It
Yes.
is horrible what he did. It would have been mortifying for the girl to come into the courtroom. He doesn't have a criminal history. I think 12 months is appropriate. A cap of 12 months is appropriate. It is no app. It is a felony conviction. He was 20. I made this plea bargain. I thought it was appropriate, and I'd ask the court to call it.
All right, defense.
Well, Your Honor, for a lot of the reasons that state has pointed out, his age, his record, I think he's acknowledged that he understands and takes responsibility for everything he's done. I would ask for leniency to allow him to demonstrate to the court that he can be a different person. And even when he gets out, he will still be under the control of the state for a while. So we would ask that the minimum be considered, Your Honor, and given to him.
All right, the court will sentence you to 10 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, and that credit will include a total of 23 days. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand,
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez? And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess a weapon or weapon or any ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Mr. Johnson. All right, so at some point in your life, you may have children. It may be a daughter, it may be a son. I hope that you will speak to them about this issue so that they won't do the same thing. I can tell you that the person that you supposedly love, you shouldn't do hurtful things. Even when they break up with you, you're just supposed to move on. You know, maybe write a letter, will you take me back? But then if they say no, then the relationship is over and you call it a day. If you would not have sent videos, which again, I don't understand why children do that, you wouldn't be in this situation. If you were to just destroy the videos, you wouldn't be in this situation. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I know you may think, curses, I'm going to be locked up, but take that as a time to internalize. And whatever you do, and I forgot to add this part, there's to be no contact with the complainant whatsoever. Do you understand? All right, if there's nothing else from either side, then you're excused. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll take you over here.
Brenna? Yes. Here, the exhibits. See, I remember not to throw those away.
Yeah, don't throw them.
All right, Mr. Ramirez, Joseph Ramirez. All right, so defense, we couldn't find your motion anywhere. They say there's not a motion, you just have, there is no motion.
I can find them, Judge. I'm sure sometimes when they get e-filed, they just disappear into space. but
Okay, so what we're gonna do, Ms. Ferguson or Mr. Ramirez, can we recall this for Monday? Is that doable? All right, we're gonna recall it for Monday, and at that time, I'll make my decision.
I just want to point out to the court, because it's been reminded by my client's wife several times that he's the only person supporting them. He previously mentioned they got evicted, moved into a new place. They're quickly approaching eviction again because he hasn't worked in the time that he's been in custody. How long has it been? So he's been remanded with that for about 2 weeks, Judge. That's all.
All right, so the court will make its decision on Monday.
So I'm not coming back to spend another day on Monday.
Yeah, come back with us. We enjoy seeing you. Or either have Ms. Cruz.
Judge, would you like to know what's, you asked the state to pick a case that we move forward on? Do you want that
Yes.
now or Monday?
We can do it on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Just so I'll know how much time it will take, and then we'll get your setting for that.
So Judge, even if I go find those motions and show them to the clerk, we're still.
Yeah, because we have jury call at 1:30. So I will take it up on Monday. Edward Salcedo.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so on this one, are we proceeding? Is there going to be a plea?
It's an MTR, Your Honor. It's just alternate amend for,
So are they withdrawing?
no, he's gonna plead true to a condition, and their recommendation is to deny.
I'll just put it orally on the record. All right, the court is calling 2018 CR 2435, State of Texas versus Edward Salcedo. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Lee Sparks,
For the defense?
Megan Enriquez for Edward Salcedo.
And are you Edward Salcedo?
Yes, ma'am.
Our audio doesn't
The
work.
audio doesn't work, Judge.
All right, Mr. Salcedo, are you able to use your chat box? All right. For the record, the court's audio is not working. Mr. Salcedo is at the Bexar County Jail. I've requested, well, I asked if he could use his chat box. He stated yes. Defense, do you have any objections to your client using the chat box?
No, Your Honor.
All right. The defensive counsel is in the courtroom. We are proceeding by Zoom. Mr. Salcedo, do you have any objections to appearing by Zoom? And Mr. Salcedo typed in that he has no objections. Defense, do you have any objections to your client appearing by Zoom?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Salcedo, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you have a chance to review that with your attorney, and did you understand it? Mr. Salcedo put in the chat box, yes. Are you the same Edward Salcedo who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 CR 2435 for the offense of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on January 4th, 2019 for a period of 3 years and extended for a total of 2 months? Is that you? The defendant typed in yes. State?
Yes, Judge, violated condition number 2, on or about the 19th day of January 2022.
In Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Edward Saucedo, did then and there illegally use a controlled substance, namely marijuana, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that, true or not true? He indicates that he pleads true.
And we're gonna waive all other violations.
Any objections to the waiver?
No objection, Judge.
All right, Mr. Salcedo, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years into prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand? And he states yes. Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2? Mr. Salcedo, knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2? All right, he answers yes. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge, we're asking that you deny the MTR, extend for 1 year, and alter and amend for lifetime recovery. That's our understanding of the agreement, Your Honor.
All right, has he been accepted to lifetime recovery?
No, we're agreeing to it. We're agreeing to it.
Okay. All right, the court will find violation of condition number 2 true. The court will deny the motion, extend you for 1 year. I'm going to alter and amend conditions to lifetime recovery. He's to be transported from the Bear County Jail by lifetime recovery. And also, let's have him referred to felony drug court. And we'll see which one comes up first. But however, if he's referred to felony drug court, Mr. Salcedo, felony drug court will probably extend you for another year because they need that program is at least 2 years. You understand? That's either yes. So he states he understands. All right, so that's the court's order. So he's to remain in custody until transferred to lifetime recovery or transferred to felony drug court. Is there anything else needed, probation, with regards to?
Your Honor, for now, to get the ball rolling, are you in agreement with me extending him for 1 year for paperwork purposes so that we can do
Yes.
the lifetime recovery?
And what will end up happening if he's accepted to felony drug court, then felony drug court, he'll be under their umbrella and they'll extend him the extra year if needed.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry. This goes with that. Michael Herrera. Okay, on this case, the state was to make an offer and there's supposed to be an incident involving another child.
Well, I don't believe that's the issue. I think the state has made an offer, Judge. I've reviewed both of the Children's Advocacy Center videos that they have. I think, however, based on the police reports, there's one more in Caldwell County that they've requested this morning, which relates to this current case. And so I would
When
just
you
ask.
say one more, is that a police report or what is in Caldwell County?
There was several forensic interviews, and I believe it's with their Child Advocacy Center in Caldwell County. There was another forensic interview with the complainant, so request a copy of that.
All right, is 30 days enough?
I think it should be, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset for discovery on Mr. Herrera, please?
Cindy? Okay. Thank
Oh,
you.
what date is that?
It was September 6th.
All right.
And Judge, and I've confirmed with the state on this, I did have a motion for you to consider amending the condition of his bond. I know that you have a jury trial at 1:30, so I'll try to make this quick, Judge. But currently, Mr. Herrera is on GPS house arrest, and he's given a copy of his schedule to Bear County Pretrial Services. He works at a restaurant. He makes $10 an hour. A lot of times, his employer will have other shifts for him that are available for him to work, and he's trying to pick up as many as he can to help pay for different expenses, including
All right,
his case.
just 1 second. State, do you have any objection to tracking?
Yes.
All right.
And so he does help his mother. He lives with his mother and he helps her with bills at the house as well. And so I was also going to ask if you could waive the GPS fees as well. The complaining witness in this case lives in Caldwell County. There's also a no contact order and an order that he not even leave Bear County, Judge. So I don't think there's going to be any.
So is there an issue from GPS with him working? Let's start there.
Yes.
All right, what is the issue?
The issue is a lot of times there will be different shifts available for him to work, but pretrial services always needs 24 hours notice. Even when he gets more than 24-hour notice, pretrial services is, I think, very, very busy and they can't respond to him in enough time for him to be able to.
Okay, so
work
this
those.
is what we're gonna do with regards to this motion. I'm not gonna make a ruling on it today. We're gonna reset it, and when we reset it, we'll have pretrial services by Zoom, if nobody objects to them being by Zoom. So we can figure out how he is allowed to work, plus do the errands for his mom that I think I ordered that he was allowed to do.
You did do that, and I don't even think that that's even been implemented, Judge. He's called them a bunch of times trying to coordinate that, and that's really never been something that he's been able to do. You ordered tracking on Mondays only, and I think it was from sometime in the morning till about 6 p.m., but he hasn't been able to even have that implemented
All right,
at this point.
Norma, is there a way for us to reset this case sometime next week if possible, if you're available next week? And we can have his pretrial services officer here so we can figure out what's going on with the implementation of my orders.
Can I send you a day? I don't have my schedule right now. I should have brought it, but.
All right, and we'll see what's going on and see if we can correct the situation. Sometimes it's just people need to get together and communicate, okay?
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome.
But then as far as, would you be comfortable ruling on the GPS fees, or do you want to save
Oh,
that?
no,
to-
the GPS fees will be waived. I always waive those.
Okay, thank you.
So that will be in my order.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Norma, do we have anything else? Because otherwise, we're gonna take our break. Oh, you have a plea? Okay, and then what is the, people grab your file because we're starting up a jury trial at 1:30.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Carlos Ramirez?
Yes, Your Honor. We're deciding that it's 371. It's not in.
How you doing, Judge?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How's everything going with you?
Really good.
All right.
Take care.
You too.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, can I see someone from Criminal Trial Division and Family Violence, please?
Michelle, come down here. and do it.
So I don't know which cases are with you all, but if you all are able to agree, if not, let me know.
These sound familiar to you? Those two don't sound familiar to me. Oh, this one we just.
Oh, thank you. So I can go this way. Oh, yes.
This case is set for trial next week. And he wants to travel after the trial date. Can we just address this
Yes.
then?
Let me put a notation on that.
Judge, I did find those motions. They are on file. I gotta
Okay,
say,
awesome. No, I'm
I
pretty
shared it
sure.
with Norma, but the problem is my client's going back to jail thinking I didn't do what I told him that I did.
Oh, no.
His
We
wife
will,
be yelling at me this afternoon.
we will let him know. Deputy Laura, has his client been already sent? All right, is there any way you can get a message to his client that his attorney did file the motions?
Okay.
Yes, she will make that happen.
Okay, Judge, and be back Monday. unless you
Yes.
decide to something for them.
Yes.
Okay.
You're welcome. Yes.
There are a few people on the recall docket for you to get a status treatment or update that I believe Officer Lauder said she probably has one back there. Carlos Vasquez.
Vasquez?
Yes.
All right, could I see the file on Vasquez, please? All right, what is the status on his treatment?
He's number 69 on the list and he's pending blood work. So that was back from that.
I think this is the same person. Why didn't you set a hearing on this one?
Okay. So he's in custody?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, this is a little late for them to send this if he's in custody.
Yeah, I don't know. You had told me to set it for a hearing. You gave me this yesterday.
Okay. Oh, well, there's no need to set that for a hearing since he's already in custody. And
Let me just check that that's the correct, that I have to sit them.
all right, and so you say he's number 69 on the list, but he's still awaiting blood work?
That's correct.
It's a different mark. It's a different one.
Okay. All right, on Carlos Vargas then, can you give me a 45-day reset? Yes, but do a phantom date because he's awaiting transfer.
25. I can do the 18th.
September 18th or
No,
August?
August 18th.
All right, August 18th. All right, and who else?
And then Jesus Monreal.
All right, can I see Jesus Monreal, please? He has 2 files. All right, so what is the status?
He is number 49 pending transfer.
Okay, so has everything been done for him?
My understanding is, yes, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, can we give the same date for Monreal? All right, so that'll be August 18th.
Those are the only ones I have, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And we've already done Caroline Cantu, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yes, I have Terrence Reed. No. All right, I'll say on Terrence Reed, has all the discovery been tendered?
Judge, I don't know. That was a transfer from another court.
Ah.
So I don't think we've ever really confirmed.
All right, Norma, on Terrence Reed, can we recall him for Monday then?
Yeah. I'm not really-
All right, then we'll do this plea and then we're back, yeah, after we do this one. And Norma, the cases we have remaining is Nicholas Gonzalez with Brett Party, so that we're gonna have to do another appointment on that.
Okay.
And then we have,
Montgomery, second to 144, doing a plea.
all right, so Cortez, John Arredondo, we're gonna have to appoint another counsel for him.
Okay.
And I don't want to do a bond focus on him because his attorney's not present. And then we have Robert Reyna. That's what Greg Demare,
Okay.
Dimitri Gomez, Scott McCrum,
Okay.
and then Dane Cortez and Terrence Reed.
Then we have the all come back on that.
Yes. And we're gonna do an appointment. We need to have another attorney appointed in Brett Party's place.
Yeah.
All right. On Saul Amaris, do I have parties come forward? All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 6647, State of Texas versus Saul Alexander Umbres. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Nathan Swimming.
All right, are you Saul Umbres?
This fine.
All right, counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Umbres, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
This Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive it, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge, we're proceeding on paragraph A, waiving the.
Any objection?
No, Judge.
All right, Mr. Umbres, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
This Honor.
In paragraph A, you're charged with the offense of robbery. That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
This Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
This Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call on the right to remain silent?
This Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
This Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
This Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Mr. Umbres, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you have been represented?
This Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
This Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
This Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on paragraph A. Punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There are no applications. This is running concurrent with 2021 CR 11653, 2021 CR 11654, and the state will take into consideration 2022 CR 6646. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
This Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
This Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
This Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged in paragraph A, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, state offers states exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objection.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty of the offense of robbery as listed in paragraph 8. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with cause number 2021 CR 11653, 2021 CR 1165. State will take in consideration 2022 CR 6646. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing from the defense. Your Honor.
Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Counsel, did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, we're going to proceed in cause number 2021 CR 11654 and 2021 CR 11653. And each of those cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, Your Honor.
And cause number 2021 CR 11653, are you the same Saul Umbres was placed on deferred adjudication for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on March 3rd, 2022 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in cause number 2021 CR 11654, are you the same Saul Umbres who was placed on deferred adjudication for evading arrest, detention with a vehicle on March 3rd, 2022 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the same allegations in each motion?
Yes, Judge.
Defense, any objection to your client's answer to the allegations being attributed to both motions?
No.
All right, state.
Condition number 1, on or about the 13th day of May 2022 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Saul Alexander Umbres committed the offense of robbery in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to each of those violations in each of the cause numbers?
True.
Or the others.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No.
Mr. Ambrose, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1 in 2021 CR 11653, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility? And in cause number 2021 CR 11654, by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1 in each of the motions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then in each of the motions, the court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge. We are asking that you grant the motion in each cause number, adjudicate and revoke his deferred probation. We're asking that you sentence him to 6 months under cause number 11653 and 5 years under cause number 11654. Run them. We're asking that you run the concurrent, Judge.
Is that the agreement?
Yes, Judge, that they run concurrent with 2022 CR 6647, the robbery that he just led on.
I'm sorry, what was the robbery cost number?
2022 CR 6647.
All right, Mr. Ambrose, are you asking the court to follow your agreement in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then in cause number 2021 CR 11653, court will find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, sentence you to 6 months in a state jail facility. give you credit for any time served. It will run concurrent with 2021 CR 11653 and 2022 CR 6647. In cause number 2021 CR 11654, the court is finding you guilty. The court will not grant you community supervision, sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2021 CR 11653 and 2022 CR 6647. And each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you sign them?
This round.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
This round.
And because in each of these cause numbers, these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
This round.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
This round.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Brenda, you're excused. Mr. Andres, how old are you?
21.
21? You're starting off your life not very good, at least your adult life. If you continue on the path that you're on, you're going to find yourself spending the majority of your time at the Bexar County Jail and at the prison. If you don't want your life to be that way, you're going to have to make some serious changes. Do you have any children?
No,
Why you sound like you're unsure?
because I'm with somebody that has kids and I used to look out for them and her.
Oh, well, you need to stop doing that. And you know what? Here's the thing, until you get your life in order, don't involve yourself in any relationship, especially a relationship with someone who has children. Do you understand?
This round.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.